Communication Elements by Ashley Harris. This photo depicts many aspects of nonverbal communication. The first thing I noticed was his unguarded posture. His arms are away from his body, up in the air, where he's vulnerable, but he obviously feels comfortable with the photographer and the men that are standing behind him. His face is expressing joy and maybe surprise. He has a genuine smile. He's looking off to the distance, maybe at someone or something surprised him. I also noticed that he removed his hat, which is a sign of respect. He has a tool beside him that he's sat down, and the men behind him seem to have done the same. I think communicating with him at this time would be a positive direction of communication, because he appears to be open to conversation, and he might even be enthusiastic or grateful. The next photo, we have a man who seems like he's taking a quick break from work. He paused for the photographer. His face is not overly happy, but he has a half smile and he's making eye contact, which is respectful. His stance is relaxed. He's leaning one arm onto the cart and the other one rested up on his hip, casually. There's no definitive factor in this photo that makes me feel like the direction of communication would be either positive or negative. Just seems like he's taking a quick break, unenthusiastic, just pausing for a moment, and then he'll return back to work. The next photo, we have a woman. She appears to be sad or maybe in pain. I feel like her brow is furrowed. She's sweating. Kind of a frown. Her lips are pouted. She has her one arm bent behind her back, like kind of looks like maybe she's having some back pain, and the other one down at her side. Looks like maybe she's been working outside in the heat. Communicating with her at this time might be affected in a negative way because she appears unhappy and maybe in pain. She's looking away from the camera, and that can also be a sign of disinterest. And our last photo, we have a young woman with two older women standing behind her. The very first thing I noticed in this picture are their facial expressions. They're very clearly unhappy and not trusting of whoever or whatever they're looking at. The younger girl in the front is exhibiting negative nonverbal communication by glaring at the photographer and has a disapproving expression. Her arms are closed and crossed. The older woman to the left's facial expression is very tense and her brow is furrowed. And her direct stare also tells me that she doesn't trust whoever she's looking at. And the woman to the right appears to also be unhappy and disapproving of the situation. Her mouth is open. Maybe she was speaking or disagreeing. The elements depicted in this photo indicate that communication under these circumstances would be negative and they would not be receptive because they're angry and their emotions would be present.